My video on solving multi-step inequalities. So we're going to use the same skills as solving two-step equations. The only thing we have to remember from what we've already learned about inequalities is to keep the variable positive. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve the problem, and when we get down to the last step, we're going to make the variable positive if we need to. Okay, so let's look at number 1. All right, the first step is to circle your variable and draw your t. The opposite of adding 19 would be subtracting 19. Okay, the 19s are going to cancel, and make sure you write really small because we're going to need a lot of room here. So we have negative 7b is less than negative 16 minus 19 is negative 35. Now, here's the step where we want to rewrite. So I'm just going to draw this so we know where this step is coming from. So this is moving to this side and this is moving to this side. And when we do that, they become opposite. So positive 35 and positive 7b. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 7. The 7s are going to cancel, and 35 divided by 7 is 5. So 5 is less than b, or read it backwards, b is greater than 5. And remember, I rewrote it because the variable was negative. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Circle the variable and draw your t. We want to cancel out 13 by subtracting 13. The 13s cancel. Now remember there's a minus sign, so negative 11d is greater than or equal to 79 minus 13, which is 66. Now once again, we have a negative variable, so we're going to switch the sides. Remember, when the 66 slides over here, it becomes negative. And when the negative 11d slides over, it's positive. The opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 11. The 11s cancel, and we get negative 6 is greater than or equal to d. But read it backwards, d is less than or equal to negative 6. Excuse me. Okay, number 3. Circle the variable. Draw your t. The opposite of adding 1 is subtracting 1. The 1s cancel. Q divided by 7 is greater than negative 6. The opposite of division is multiplication. The 7s are going to cancel, and Q is greater than negative 42. Now this time, because the variable was positive, I did not have to rewrite it at all. So Q is greater than negative 42. Okay, let's skip down to 4, 5, and 6. Now, 4 and 5 are the special cases, and remember we have to get rid of that denominator first, so I like to circle the top. And we want to get rid of the 2, so we want to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. Okay, the 2's are going to cancel, and negative 3x plus 6 is less than or equal to 24, because 12 times 2. Now, circle the variable and draw your t. The opposite of adding 6 would be subtracting 6. The 6's are going to cancel. So negative 3x is less than or equal to 24 minus 6 is 18. Now, remember to keep the variable positive. So this is going to become negative 18. And this is going to become positive 3x. The opposite of multiplication is division. So the 3's are going to cancel. Negative 18 divided by 3 is negative 6 is less than or equal to x. Or read it backwards, x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Okay, number 5. The opposite, well, another special case. And I want to get rid of the division, so the opposite of division is multiplication. So let's multiply both sides by 5. 5's are going to cancel, so 4x minus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Draw your t. The opposite of subtracting 2 would be adding 2. The 2's are going to cancel. So 4x is greater than or equal to negative 20 plus 2, which is negative 18. And the opposite of multiplication is division. 4's cancel, so x is greater than or equal to negative 4.5. Now, I could also write it as a fraction too, okay, because it doesn't come out to be a whole number. So I could simplify 18 over 4, which would be 9 over 2, and negative 9 over 2 would also be an acceptable answer. Okay. Number 6, we have a positive variable, so we are good to go. The opposite of adding 13 is subtracting 13. Okay, cancel the 13s. Bring down your 11y. It's greater than or equal to negative 1 minus 13, negative 14. The opposite of multiplication is division. So divide by 11, and y is greater than or equal to. Now, this cannot be simplified. It does not come out to be a whole number. It comes out to be a decimal. And instead of rounding, okay, we want to keep it as a fraction, because if we round it, we'll never get it to check. But if we keep it as a fraction, we will be good to go. So negative 14/11. Excuse me. Okay. We've got one last section. So let's look at the distributive property. Okay, yours looks a little different than mine because I created a little more room. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to fit my work into that small space because I write a lot bigger on the computer. So recall the distributive property. The distributive property means to distribute. And what we're doing when we distribute is we're multiplying. So put multiply in parentheses. The outside number to everything inside the parentheses. And there's two ways I could represent the distributive property. One way to write it is show that I'm multiplying 3 by the 6 and show that I'm multiplying the 3 by the 2. But another way to do it is to skip this step and just write down what 3 times 6 is. What is 3 times 6? 18. And what is 3 times 2? 6. So I could also represent 18 minus 6. So if you ever saw this equals 18 minus 6, that's the distributive property because I'm actually telling you what 3 times 6 and 3 times 2 is. Okay? So now let's do the last 3 examples. Okay, I'm going to go through these rather quickly because the only thing I'm adding to this is the distributive property. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, so I can write minus 15 is less than or equal to 21. Circle your variable and notice it's negative, so I'm going to have to do something to it at the end. The opposite of subtracting 15, add 15. Go ahead and cancel the 15s and write down negative 3x is less than or equal to 36. Now I'm going to rewrite this, so I'm going to draw these. The opposite of 36 is negative 36 is less than or equal to 3x. Okay, one last step. The opposite of multiplication is division. 3 divided by 3 is a 1 in disguise, and negative 36 divided by 3 is negative 12 is less than or equal to x, or read it backwards, x is greater than or equal to negative 12. Now, it's okay to leave it like this as your final answer, but the reason why I'm writing it like this with the variable on the left is it's much easier to graph it this way because we always read it from the letter. So x is greater than or equal to negative 12. If I leave it like this, I might end up shading the incorrect way. Okay. Number 8, 72 is greater than, now I got to distribute, negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x, so I can write minus 4x. Circle this, and that means that the variable is negative, so draw your t. Opposite, well, actually, if I want to cancel positive 12, I need to subtract 12. Okay, 12's cancel. 72 minus 12 is 60, so 60 is greater than negative 4x. Now, the variable is negative, so we're going to rewrite, and we have 4x is greater than negative 60. And the opposite of multiplication is division. And we divide by 4, so x is greater than negative 15. Now I want to point something out that you might have noticed here. Now, whenever the variable's negative, you probably noticed that from the original to the answer, the symbol flipped. Well, this one didn't. So why is that? Well, because the variable started out on the right, okay? So if I read it backwards, that flips it around. But also, okay, because the variable is negative, that flips it around. So it actually flips because the variable is on the right and then flips back because the variable is negative. So that's why it looks like the greater than symbol didn't actually change, okay? And the last one, distribute. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2x is 8x is greater than 56. Circle the variable and draw your t. I want to get rid of 24 by subtracting 24. The 24's cancel. Bring down your negative 8x is greater than 32. Now I need a rewrite here because the variable is negative. So this comes over here and becomes negative 32. And this comes over here and becomes positive 8x. Okay, the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 8. 8's cancel. Negative 32 divided by 8 is negative 4 is greater than x. Or read it backwards, x is less than negative 4. Okay, that concludes our notes on solving multi-step inequalities. I hope you have a great day.